Right, so now that's all out of the way, we can actually crack on with a new exhibit today then. So yeah, I'm going to leave the pandas there. I do want to do I want to replace the pandas basically. Want to put them down, give them a nice space and just keep a couple of them and try and do a more sort of, what's the words, humane breeding capacity. So what I want to do here then is just move some of this space a little. So as that we can have a habitat entrance here, basically, that will then deal with the sort of front of here. So we just need to move just one of the buildings, to be honest. And I'm hoping that if we put that one down there, right, it looks like it's connected. The only thing I need to worry about is whether it's getting too close to the guests now. So. No, we're still plenty fine. Okay, still plenty fine there. That's fine. So what we'll do is we'll house all of this into a building. In fact, I tell you what we're going to do. These little toilets here, they're really not working for me here. We've tried, but I don't think they're going to work there. I think we're probably better off getting some guest facilities on this side instead. So let's just find where they are. Guest facilities, toilet block, here we go. So if we put some of those in there, and then we can tie them all in to this build. Okay, I mean we've also got information. Yeah, let's do that then, and we'll just make this one sort of huge building, okay? So, oh, well, the pop is in the way of my screen, can't quite see those buttons, there we go. Okay, just bring them out of the way. I'm not going to delete them because, you know, money. And we're going to play on pause. We've got loads of cash. We've got loads of credits. I don't necessarily want anything to age. I'm still trying to work out whether the Flamingos are managing or not. They seem to be doing all right. Let's have a look. Apart from their enrichment is a little low. But yeah. Okay, no, do you know what? Let's play in the true spirit of the game. Let's play. Let's let everyone figure out what they're doing. Okay, so, first of all, that's the other thing as well. We need to totally wipe out the staff. Okay, we have a mass exodus of staff, and I'm soon to be sure we're going to have a mass exodus of guests as well, because while we were paying so much attention to pandas, we actually lost all the animals in this one and all the animals in this one. We will repopulate them, but I'm thinking I'm going to hold on just for now if we can manage, because they were getting so stressy with all the people flooding around here. We need to get some of these guests out, and we need to find guests places to go and things to see, and then hopefully it'll clear out a little bit better. So we've got a lot of people going to the information desk. That's good. Let's jump into this building then. So, architecture, walls. Let's go for a mostly wood structure, because that's kind of the theme I'm going for. Not necessarily modern, but serviceable, I suppose, is probably the way you would put it. So I'm going to leave that one open for a minute. In fact, no, I'll put that in to sort of delineate where the entrance is going to go, and then we'll add. Oh, here I'll go. Oh, hello. That sounds like something's got out. It has got out. A little warthog. Look at you, you little. I was going to call you a really awful name then, Aisha. Oh, and all your buttons have gone as well. Ugh, I'm going to have to do a reload of the game here. We'll leave it for now. We'll just play on pause for a minute while we sort that out. Tut tut. Naughty warthogs. I can hear them all screaming. Alright, folks, calm down. Come on. It's only a warthog. Jeez. You've never seen a warthog before. Actually, no, a warthog could probably do quite a bit of damage, actually, I think. Thinking about it, yeah. I'd probably be scared of a warthog as well. Now, is there a... Oh, it's going to be an arches, isn't it? Here we go. A wooden arch. Okay, this is going to be a fun one to try and roof. I've had a lot of comments lately about roofs and how to kind of go about it. One thing I will say is a really sort of good way to go with roofing is to vary heights a little, and that will kind of sort of force you into certain roofs. So, for instance, we'll have this slightly raised section here, okay, and then we'll just fill in these window gaps here and here, and then also I think that one there is technically on the wrong part of the grid. So there we go. So that's kind of give us the basic structure. Now with roofing, what this can do, I'm not going to turn this into a tutorial, but Let's get the asphalt roof. I think it looks quite smart with this one. Is we can do a 1 meter asphalt roof on here now on all of these bits that stick out, right? Like so. Okay, and then that immediately gives us sort of the shape that we're going to be carrying on with now for the next part of the roof. So we're going to go back to the wood options, and we're going to fill all these little gaps in. Actually, no, they wouldn't be the darker wood, would they? They would be this wood. Yeah, that looks good. There we go. I really love the wooden patterns in this. I would love for this one to be recolorable, because if I'm honest, it's a little bright. It is a little intense, but I still don't mind it. I still don't mind it at all. So now we've got that in place. Now we can even go a little higher, just for fun. I mean, we probably should have, put the 2 meter piece in. Really, it's just a waste of piece counts, but that's fine. Let's go around like that, and we'll go a little higher on it. Okay, just so we've got that slight change in the roof. Yeah, that's about as high as it can go, really, I think, before it starts looking really silly. It's probably a little high already. But then we'll go back to our corner piece. Which one is it going to be? These are all sort of interior corners, aren't they? We're on wood anyway, so we want we want asphalt is what we want. You get your mind out of the gutters, you filthy, horrible lot. Right, let's move this round. This is, well, it's not for kids. The copper. Remember copper, we need to stick the odd swear word in there just so we don't get caught. That's not how it works, by the way. A lot of people have been asking about that. You know what, let's talk about that briefly. So a lot of people have messaged me saying, oh, are you scared about copper? I'm not actually, no. I think the problem is that when we're used to how YouTube works things, right? And the way YouTube does things is they throw a couple of bots into the system and let them try and deal with it, and it just doesn't really work very well. But I'm actually not that worried about the FTC. They're an incredibly small department of the American government, and they are not out to catch people out. They're out to find people who are violating the process. So they're not looking at people like me who makes video games for adults that just so happen to be about videos for adults that just so happen to be about video games. I'm not their target. Their target is people who are making explicitly aimed toward children content that are trying to ride under the system and therefore get themselves that sweet ad revenue. And that's what they're looking for. And there is a very obvious and specific delineation between made for kids and suitable for kids. And from the FTC's mouth, they have stated that just because your content features cartoon characters or video games or other such references does not mean it is necessarily made for kids and therefore accountable to copper. So yeah, I'm not worried, but I do appreciate everyone sort of getting in touch with me about it. But I spoke to a lawyer, and I spoke to a few lawyers actually, but I spoke to a lawyer sort of on the books as well. I've actually sort of paid for their time for them to take a look at it for me, and they've said no. I said, looking at the recent regulations that the FTC themselves have put out, geekism is not going to be in any way a bother to the FTC and copper. Right, okay, how are we doing here then? Right, that needs to get doubled up. There we go. I don't know why I'm going for this little crossover thing. It's making it look a little sort of tribal, I guess, but I'm kind of into it. I think it's looking all right. So we're going to bring that over and just sort of copy these around. So once you sort of basic roof structures on, like this is here, one of your key points is going to be to break up that edge between the roof and the wall, because very, very rarely do walls and roofs meet perfectly. There is very often a lip from one to the other, or in this case, we're doing a sort of edging there to really break it up. And I mean, this isn't like crazy realistic, but it is just that extra little bit of edge that really sort of like just pushes a build up to the next level, in my opinion. Okay, let's get you on there. Boom. Same over this side. Boom. There we go. All right. We're gonna have to go all the way around, aren't we? Okay. Well, that's it is what it is. Shush you, Ozzle Bozzle. Oreo, you've literally just had your dinner. I made sure you had dinner before this video started because you have a habit of making this awful blaring noise every time I start recording a video. I've realised they're not quite lined up, and I'm kind of gonna be fine living with it. Like it almost looks right. Okay, we'll take these two round here because you want this building to look sort of serviceable, but still slightly appealing to the sort of audience. And I've noticed that a lot with zoos. This is something that Mass Bandit mentioned in his recent video, which is very good series, by the way. If you're not watching it already, Emerald Gardens, I want to say. See, I can remember the name of your park, Mast. Can't even remember the name of Noonal Panat. What's my one called? Yeah, that one. You can't even remember the name of that, can you? But I remember yours, Emerald Gardens. Anyway, Emerald Gardens. They did. He was talking about I think it was buffalo enclosure actually, and he was saying that the sort of the rear of the buffalo enclosure, the sort of the nightimey bit, is pretty much just a shed. And it's got some chain link fence around it, and I've noticed that myself as well. A lot of the buildings, they just don't really care, and I think it's a very sort of almost conscious effort as like, no, this is what the animals need. We don't really care if it looks nice as far as the guests are concerned. You know, it is just what it is, and what it is a monkey. Okay, a million points if you get that reference. Right, let's just very quickly edge this. I don't want to do the whole. Well, actually, this is going to be easier because this is literally just a block. So we can do that pretty quick, can't we? We can just place those on there. And this is just going to make that top of the building pop and line up with the rest of it. And then I think what it needs is probably some fake windows just along this lighter wood section here. Now the other one's going off. I don't know if you can hear her. She's much quieter, but I can hear Mika moaning now. Moaning Mika. Shush you. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. They've just had their dinner. Okay. So there's a building as you come in. Now, as it stands, it looks plain, it looks miserable, it looks boring, but it's definitely looking a little bit more interesting than just a big old box. Okay. So let's have a look at some signage. Awnings and oh yeah, let's put an awning over here then. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice and new worldy. It's kind of big. It's kind of big. I like that one, but I think that's maybe a little too African-y. No, do you know what? We'll go for this. We'll go for that, and we'll put that there, and then we'll see if we can get another one above the restroom to kind of tie it into the build a little. Yeah. Okay, good. And then signage, wall signs, facility signs, information. Is that the only one? Ah, no, we have the word wood selected, so there might even be more stuff that we can figure out. I just wonder why that wouldn't snap. I quite like this big old eye. But I think what we'll do is something like that, and then we'll go to custom signs, get rid of the WD. Which one we got? We got that one. That's not so awful. What about that? Oh yeah, that's right more up our street. So let's chuck that in there. So it's all one thing. Now we can't edit it at the minute because the game's a bit goosey when it comes to that. It's a weird bug that wasn't fixed, unfortunately. There was a massive patch went out, 1.0.3, excuse me, patch that went out the other day. But unfortunately, that signage one wasn't addressed. So here, I mean, this just screams little garden, doesn't it? A little sort of manicured garden. So how about some topiary? Oh, that F's working now. Look, nice. I just tried to do that and it wasn't happening. Wasn't happening, sunshine. There we go. Let's move that down there. Okay, so we'll edge this off with some topiary. And that way. And that way. And down. Pull that one out to fill the gap. There we go. Maybe a statue? Maybe a statue in there. Let's have a look what statues we've got. Construction, props, centerpieces, statues. Here we go. Let's go something crazy. Because these, we're quite limited in using these in most of our other parks because they've got a kind of theme and fit, you know. Whereas here, we could stick a dodo down and I'm not even going to think twice about it, you know. Or we could stick a gorilla down. I quite like the gorilla. He looks majestic as AF. I'm going to put a gorilla down, and I think there's a plinth he will stand on, right? Yeah, there we go. Look at that bad boy. I like it. The old world meets the new world. That is what I'm talking about. And then, finally then, just to sort of fill in that gap, how are we doing for gaps there? Is that... See, Mike's going to shout at me because these flowers probably would need a lot more light. But I'm going to hope... you fine folks will let me off. That looks a bit better. That's more like a heathery kind of junky kind of plant. But then here at the back we'll have some azalea and something with a bit of height to it. Let's have a look. Not nettles. Oh no, we're still in planters. Here we go. We want to move over to here to something a bit more bushy. Creosote bush. I mean, it's a bit of a manky bush, isn't it? Okay, so I had a bit of a silly laughing fit there, so I thought I'd take the time to reload the zoo while I was at it. You've literally scared everyone out of the zoo, you absolute little moron. Where are you going? You're not going out of the zoo. I know you can't go out of the zoo, so come on, there's got to be a vet on the way. You have literally emptied the zoo. Well, I suppose at least everyone is going to pay the entrance fee again because they're not getting refunds. Where's our vet? There's a vet over there, look, running off. Right, well, let's just pay the money then, eh? Dear me. Fighting's due to overcrowding. We've only got 3 in here. Oh, no, but it's... oh, that's really sad because we've got Wadsworth, who's going to be our alpha male. And then we've got Ava, who's on her last legs, bless her. I mean, she's really on her way out. But then I've also bought in... oh, no, Go On. Oh, Go On's still going. I didn't think he was. I thought he was long gone. Go On was long gone. So yeah, Wadsworth, you're going to get... okay, so tell you what then. You go to the trade centre, and we'll let these pair live it out. I've got a boy and a girl ready to come in there then when we need them. Okay, so let's get back to our beautiful, no longer terrorised by a warthog entrance building. So I want some... let's have a think. What have we got? Brambles, no good. I mean, I suppose a bit of... like, oh no, not reeds. A bit of bamboo would probably do all right. A durian lark? No, it's way too big. And something like in between that. Elephant grass. That'll do. Something easy that's well kept. Okay, cool. So there we go. So we can now sort this out. So is it ridiculous to have information there? Does that even work? It kind of works, I guess. And well, it'd be nice if I spelled it right, I suppose. There we go. Information. There we go. Yeah, that kind of works. Okay, and then we can put in a habitat here. And I want something that we haven't put down before. So let's have a look what we've got in animal trading. Something like bongo or something. What have we got in storage still to go? I think all of our pandas are go. These are our 3 baby pandas that we're keeping hold of for now. And we've still got some grizzlies. I've put them all on for whatever the game suggested. We're going to hold on to you, Wadsworth. Yeah, okay. Right. Let's see about that then. So, anyway, no, we need to go to animal trading. Yeah, something like a bongo or... let's have a look. Bongo. I haven't put these down yet, and I think they might be... they need quite a large bit of space, I think. What's the tree, the foresty one, that like forest... oh, God, they were called Okapi. There we go. Okapi. Let's see if there's any of them on. Okay, not loads, but not terrible. Let's have a look at some stats then for you. Come on, market. They're not awful stats. If we can have a decent girl to go with you, 1,500. My God, you lot are absolute daylight robbers. We'll take it. Success, yeah, but nobody else is getting it. What about you, just in case? No, we'll get the better stats. I reckon they will make good babies. Okay, so now we'll go to animal trading, animal storage, and we'll get both of those. Actually, no, if we go to zoo, can we do it easier that way, can't we? No, they're the... Yeah, trade centre. Oh, no, only if they're in the trade centre. Huh? Right, but not if they've just come in then, I guess. Okay, animal trading. What I want to do is send both of you to the quarantine. There we go. Start getting that going. Okay. People are back in. There we go. They're coming in. Nobody's fearful for their lives anymore. That's good. So yeah, I think Okapi's here. What we might have to do is start it and maybe not finish it in this. I don't know whether we're going to have much time left. I can always time lapse some of it, but I'm very aware that my wife and son are going to be home any minute. No, I'll tell you what. We'll do a very quick time lapse. Okay, Okapis are in then. Let's see how we get on with coverage. Yeah, that is pretty much perfect. That's awesome. Means they can get up and down there, but they can't actually get out. And then this gives you a really great... So if you come down from like guest view, the idea being, if you don't fall away, is that like from here it almost looks like there's just a plane. You know, they can't even see the dip. I mean, you can because of the draw distances, because the field of view is different with the video game. But the idea here is that it doesn't really look like they're behind a fence, so to speak. And what we'll probably do is copy the little flamingo fence over here to fill in that gap later on. But for now, they've got plenty of land area. That's fine. I'm just going to take a quick sip of drink. They need lots of foliage. They are forest dwelling animals, and it doesn't look like they need any hard shelter at all because they haven't got any. But they're quite content with the lack of it, so that's fine. But I was going to make this into a little bit of a hard shelter up here, which we'll probably still do them. So they don't want anywhere near enough long grass, but they want loads of soil. So let's first of all soil ourselves and do all of this area down here. That can all be soiled. That's not a problem at all. And probably most of this as well. And then we'll have... there's still too much long grass, but not enough short grass. So all of this can be short grass here, which is going to be like sort of openy bit that they hopefully hang out in. And then they could do with a bit of rock. So let's get some rock in the bottom here as well. Probably a little bit too intense here. It's very sort of circular. There we go. And then at the back here, this is also going to be soil, because this is going to be very heavily planted down there. Okay. a bit of lighter stuff as well, just to change that up. So we'll try and keep this green bar clear here, but otherwise we need lots of plants, and we need African tropical plants. This is a set of plants that we've not used too much recently, I don't think. Most of the African stuff we've done has been more like savanna style. So African tropical should hopefully give us, I mean, absolutely hardly any choice at all. Great stuff. Okay, so palms, I don't think palms are going to work. Capocs are just crazy. I mean, that smallest one isn't horrific, but that's still pretty crazy. It's going to be tamarins. We're going to get a lot of tamarind in here. Maybe not quite the lower lying one. Oh, that's tiny. So pretty much that one's the only one that's useful. So we'll vary it up a little bit with some height variation then. Okay, there we go. What else we got? Ferns. I mean, they really do like very heavily forested areas. These are one of those ones that weren't discovered for. I mean, I haven't done the research on these like I would do for a sandbox episode, but they're one of the ones that sort of were found really late, like you know, compared to a lot of animals, they were found really quite late, and they were believed to be fictional for years and years, because nobody ever managed to sort of spot one properly. I love stories like that. These little animals couldn't care less about humans, no idea what we are, and we think they're so elusive and make believe. I love that, and they're just sitting there plodding along, just existing. Now, I know like, these are like coastal trees and stuff, but I think they work well as bush. Hopefully, the animals can still get around here. But the idea here is that it is really quite foliage. There we go. I mean, that's only 23%. That's just enough for them as far as they're concerned. We could probably go a lot more, which I think we probably will using these. There we go. Just making sure we rotate each time to give some variation. Oops. Make sure we don't end up with them tucked in like that. Some banana palms. Not a huge fan of these banana palms, if I'm honest. I think they look a bit waxy, a little plastic. But they will help fill out that sort of forest floor look that the Okapis are really into. These mangrove ones, we didn't put any of these down. These are quite nice. Let's do a couple of these to fill in that sort of middle draw. Yeah, something like that up there, I think would look pretty good. Purposely kept this open because, like I say, we're gonna. Oh yeah, that's good. That looks a lot more forested with those ones. I'll tell you what, actually, one of these to sort of soften the lines of that building over there would be pretty good as well, and maybe even a little bit of these over here with some bushy stuff around as well. Yeah, okay. Again, nothing super crazy. We're in franchise mode. We've got to just kind of get it done here, but I feel like that looks all right. Enrichment, we've got much for. Now, these social animals welfare is good. Okay, these have got pretty good genetics, so we should get some decent babies out of these. What's wrong with your habitat? Is it nothing? Habitat is still. What's up with it? Hard. Oh no, they do want hard shelter. Well, said before that you weren't bothered about it, but that's fine. Let's come back into this building then. Let's get some of that asphalt flat roof. There we go. And just quickly fill in that where we had to drag that out for the build. Okay, and then if we take that piece and bring it out there. Okay, and there, just to kind of carry this this theme on, so it all just looks copacetic, all starts to fit nice. There we go, and then that one there is to come out as well, and last but not least, this one here. Okay, so is that enough hard shelter? I mean, obviously we'll have to ground it a little, but let's say first of all. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So the last thing we need to do then is basically just stick a pillar on here. So let's go back in that building very briefly. And I think, do you know what? We'll keep it super simple. Let's just take that along there. Put it on the edge. And then just a bit of detail with that one there to make it a little bit more interesting. There we go. And for now, that will do, I think. I think we might need to do something else in here. I mean, well, first of all, we'll get some bedding down. I'm going to select Okapi here, but I'd be really surprised if we've ed anything because they're a very different animal to... Oh, no, actually, we've got a couple of things. A rubbing pillar and a sprinkler. That's not bad. So we need some food enrichment, but otherwise, actually, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So let's get a rubbing pillar in somewhere that the guests can see what's going on. So we'll put you there. We'll get a sprinkler in the water just a little. And we'll get where's the water pipe? If we can get that over here, I'd be super happy. We can. So they've got water, they've got, they need a food. Well, they don't need a food tray, actually. Let's try without a food tray. Let's just see what they do. See, because the keeper should just kind of throw it down for them, actually. So the last thing I'm going to do then is if we go into here and get these, and get this log. I kind of like covering this up. There we go. And then if you sort of block it from one side, they'll actually only use it from the covered up side, and it just gives us a little more interest. Something like that. Just looks a little cuter, a little bit more like an arty type piece, you know, and also a little bit more natural as well. So let's see how they're getting on there. They've got 83% welfare. So enrichment, yes, food enrichment is kind of all we need there. So we now have a awesome vet research system set up. We basically have a vet whose sole job is research. We just drop her there, Natalie, and Natalie gets on with it. So while all those pandas were going, I managed to get pretty much everything else researched. So very quickly then, because this is going to be a long video otherwise, what's up with the flamingos? Is it their food and toy enrichment? Okay, so let's come to habitat here. And let's select off those and onto greater flamingo, because we should have loads of fun stuff for them now. We do, look, there's a sprinkler there, but we'll put that down. And the forage pool. So the problem is the forage pool is pretty much the only thing they've got. The toy enrichment is now 100% luck, but the forage pool is it. That is like the only food and what's over here. Like enrichment, food enrichment. Well, you've got the forage pool, and so that's it, I guess. More food enrichment for flamingos, I guess, is what we're asking for here. But that's going to get their welfare up a little bit. That's good. Okay, cool. So there we go. We've ripped out the pandas in case the authorities come and try and throw us away, and we've got a couple of these cute little Okapis down as well. How adorable. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Till the next one, be good.